First look at SuperiorOS based on Android 10 running on the Xiaomi Poco F1. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon to get notified of new videos. Hey peeps, what's up? Munchie here, back with another video, and in this video we're going to have our first look at SuperiorOS based on Android 10 running on the Xiaomi Poco F1. So this is how SuperiorOS comes out of the box. You have Quick Step Launcher in the building, and these are all the applications which come baked in. The only applications which I have installed are Magisk, which was installed when I rooted the device, and the root checker application. Other than that, you do have AOSP, calculator, camera, clock, contacts, files, the gallery application, the phone application. Play Store was installed when I flashed the Nano Google Apps on this ROM. Now, if you go back to the home screen and press and hold, you do get the option of home settings, widgets, and wallpapers. However, what a bummer is that when you click on wallpapers, it says the app is not installed. So I do hope that down the line they fix the wallpapers app not found. And while we are on the topic of wallpapers, they do have the Superior Wallpapers application baked in, and I do like a few of the wallpapers which they have, so make sure you check out their wallpapers application. Let us now have a look at the recents. So this is how your recents look like. If you tap on the app icon, you will get the option of app info, or you will get the option of app info and split screen if the application allows split screen mode. These are your quick settings tiles which are baked in. If you click on edit, you do have these other options which you can drag and drop and enable as per your need. You do have a screen recorder application and a sound recorder application baked in, but it does not record internal system sounds. So that is where we are with the recording application. We can now go into settings and we'll talk about the major changes which SuperiorOS brings as a custom ROM. So we'll start over with Superior Goodies because that is first in line, and you do have status bar customizations. So you can choose your status bar items, what all items you want to see in the status bar, whether you want to see the network traffic or not, and the activity threshold for that network traffic. If you want to hide the arrows, if you want to see the volt icon, if you want to see the kill app button for notifications, if you want to see the 4G icon in your signal icon instead of LTE. Then you have customization for your battery. So what kind of battery style you are looking for, where do you want the battery percentage hidden inside the icon or next to the icon, if you want to see the battery percentage while your phone is charging or not, whether you want to see the clock and date in your status bar or not, where do you want to see the clock, on the left, in the center, or in the right. Of course, center won't work for us because we do have a notch. What is the AM PM style you're looking for, whether you want to see the seconds or not. You can also customize your clock font size using this slider which we have. Then you have customization for the clock font, so you can choose between all these fonts for your clock style. And you also have the option of seeing the date, whether you want to see the date, whether you want to see it in small font size or normal font size. And once you enable that, you can choose your date style, whether you want it normal, lowercase, or uppercase. What is the date format you're looking for? Do you want the whole date? Do you want only the day? All the settings are there. Where do you want the date to be positioned, whether you want it left of time or right of time. So pretty good customizations in terms of the status bar. Then you have customization for the quick settings. So whether you want the brightness slider in your quick settings or not, which is this slider right at the bottom. If you want it at the bottom, you can enable this toggle. If you want it at the top, you can disable the toggle. Then what is the battery percentage you are looking for when you expand your quick settings? So right now it is enabled. You can set it to disabled. You can also set it to enabled inside the icon and enabled and estimate. So let's choose enabled and estimate. Have our quick settings, swipe down, and it will tell you up till how much time your battery is going to last. So you can see it is telling me until 2 colon something, and of course because we have the notch it was cut out, and I think that is something which they can fix down the line. Next up we have buttons. In buttons you can customize your volume rockers. So what is the volume dialog timeout you want, you can customize that using this slider. If you want to use your volume rockers for playback control, or if you want to use your volume rockers to wake the device, or if you want to use your volume rockers for key cursor control. You have all these three options for your buttons. Then we have navigation bar. In navigation bar, if you are using the old school navigation bar which came with Android Oreo, which is this one, the one which I'm using right now, and you want to invert the layout, that is, you want to swap out the back and recent buttons, you can do that using this toggle. And then we have gestures. In gestures, the first option is AOSP gestures, and you have jump to camera. So press the power button twice in quick succession will open the camera application from any screen. Then you have system navigation, so you can choose between Android 10 gestures, which is the first option, or you can use the 2-button navigation system from Android 9.0 Pie, or the 3-button old school style from Android Oreo. Then you do have prevent ringing, so power and volume up at the same time to do 3 actions. So you can either put your phone on vibrate, or on mute, or on mute and no media, or you can just turn off this gesture off altogether. Then you have screen off power torch. So if you enable this, you can long press the power button while the screen is off to turn on the flashlight. And once you enable that, you can also configure after how many minutes you want to turn the torch off automatically. Then you have double tap to sleep on the status bar and double tap to sleep on the lock screen as well. That is for gestures. Next up, we have customization for the lock screen, so you can configure your left shortcut on the lock screen and your right shortcut as well. Next option is, do you want to see charging information on your lock screen or not, if you want a vibration for successful authentication using the fingerprint or not. And then you have the force fingerprint authentication toggle. What this will do is, when you reboot your phone, generally you have to enter your PIN. However, if that is something which you don't like and you want to unlock your phone with your fingerprint after you reboot it, you can enable this toggle. Then if you want to see the weather on the lock screen or not, and what is the weather style you're looking for, whether you want the Omni style or the Pixel style. And then you also have customizations in weather options. What is the icon pack you're looking for, what weather service do you want to use. Next up, we have if you want to see your media artwork on the lock screen or not. So if you're playing some music, you want to see its media artwork on the lock screen, you have this toggle. And what is the blur level you're looking for, you can customize that using the slider. And if you want a music equalizer on your lock screen while music is playing, you have a toggle for that as well. Then we have customization for the power menu, so you can choose what all options you want to see in your power menu. So you have the option of choosing between reboot, advanced reboot, lockdown, screenshot, and flashlight. Then the section below that is your lock screen options. So that is your power menu when you are on the lock screen. So you can choose between visibility on the lock screen or not. So whether you want to see the power menu on the lock screen or not, whether you want to see the reboot option or not, and these other toggles will be enabled when you enable the toggles in the upper portion of the screen. So I enabled flashlight, and now I can toggle this lock screen flashlight toggle on or off. If I disable it, then I won't be able to toggle that. Then you have customization for your notifications. Do you want the battery charging light or not? Do you want the battery charging light in do not disturb mode or not? And do you want your LED light to blink when you have low battery? Then you have notifications light, so you can configure on a per app basis what all applications can send you or have access to the LED light on the Poco F1 for notifications. Then we have heads up notifications, so you can customize whether you want to use heads up notifications or not using this toggle. And then you can also blacklist and stop list applications which are allowed or not allowed to use heads up notifications. Then you have in-call vibration options as well. So you have toggles for vibrate on connect, vibrate on call waiting, and vibrate on disconnect. A pretty nifty feature, something which I use a lot on almost all the custom ROMs which I use. Then you have miscellaneous. In miscellaneous, whether you want the charging animation or not, whether you want the phone's display to wake up when you connect the charger or not, and if you want 3-finger screenshot or not, and there it is working like a boss. So these are all the customizations which SuperiorOS has in their Superior goodies. Next up, we can go into apps and notifications. So you do have your permission manager baked in, and screen time is all about digital well-being, nothing new they have added over here. Then you have battery. So in battery you do have battery saver, and you also have adaptive battery in the building, last full charge. The new thing which they have added is battery temperature. Next we have display. So in display you do have your brightness level. What they have added is night light, so you can configure your night light to turn on at a custom time or from sunset to sunrise, or in case you want to use it right away, just click on turn on now. And once you click on turn on now, you can always control the intensity of night light using the slider which they have provided. Next up we have adaptive brightness, screen timeout, auto rotate options, so you can configure as to what all angles you want your display to rotate when you rotate your device. So you can choose between all the four angles, which is 0, 90, 180 and 270. Then we have colors. So in colors you can choose between natural, boosted and adaptive, whichever one you like. You can configure your font size, display size. You can configure the DPI as well. So this is something which they have added over here. You can configure your screensaver. If you go into lock screen display, you can choose what all content you want to see on the lock screen, if you want to add users from the lock screen or not. In case you want to add a lock screen message, I generally add that as my emergency contact information. If you want your display to wake up for new notifications or not, if you go into additional settings, you do have ambient display in the building, which consists of pick up your phone to wake up the screen, hand wave and pocket. So for pocket, when you take out your device from your pocket, it will wake up so that you can see if you have any notifications or not. You do have double tap to wake in the building, and you can also configure what all applications are opened up in full screen mode and ignore the notch. I don't have much idea about game driver preferences, so I'm going to skip that. However, if you know what it is, do let me know via comments below. You do have dark theme baked in and it works like a boss. Click on got it, bam, dark theme in the building. And they have also moved over these three options from developer options up into the main menu of display. So you can configure your accent color. These are all the options you have. Then you have the option of choosing your font, multiple options for the font as well, and what is the icon shape you're looking for. You can choose between default, teardrop, square and rounded rectangle. That is it about display. Not many customizations. In sound you have your regular options. You do have the option of using different ringtones for different sims, so you can choose a different ringtone for sim 1 and another ringtone for sim 2. They do have toggles for all these options, and you also have Mi sound enhancer baked inside the ROM. Nothing much to talk about in storage. In privacy you have your regular options which come with Android. Next up we have location. So again, nothing new which SuperiorOS has added, your regular options in here. Then we have security. In security you do have your pin is working, swipe is working, fingerprint is working. However, you do not have face unlock, and the reason for that is that Google has removed face unlock from AOSP, and I do not know if and when custom ROMs are going to add it back. Nothing much to talk about in accounts. And in accessibility we do not, and I repeat, we do not have live caption. You do have digital well-being and parental controls, so you can check how addicted you are to your device, and in case you want to limit your access to certain applications, you can do that from digital well-being. Nothing much to talk about in system because they have moved the gestures over to their own custom settings. And if you go into developer options and scroll down, look for display cutout, you will be able to hide the notch in case you do not like the notch. Now another application which I would like to talk about is styles and wallpapers. So as you can see, you can change the theme, and this is the Pixel 4 themes application. So you can choose between default, crayon, collage and ash. Of course you do get a preview on the top as to how the theme and the icons and the accent colors will look. In case you do not like any of these, you can always click on the plus sign and create your own custom theme. I do have a separate video showing off this Pixel 4 themes application, which is linked in the description of this video, and it will also pop up as a card on the top right of your screen. If you go into clock, you can choose between 5 different type of clocks. So you have the default, which looks like this, then you have bubble, then you have analog, then you have type. So they have kept the type clock, and this is something which I like personally, and a lot of custom ROMs have started removing this option because Google removed it from AOSP. However, SuperiorOS has decided to keep it. Then you do have the binary clock as well, and this is something which I haven't seen on any other custom ROM. And if you are a nerd, this is a good way to show off your lock screen to fellow nerds. Just click on apply, lock your device, and bam, this is how the binary clock looks like. Pretty cool in my humble opinion. Then you have grid, so you can change your grid, but right now at the time of recording this video, this doesn't work for me. And of course, you can change your wallpaper. You do have on-device wallpapers. There are no Pixel 4 or Pixel 3 wallpapers which are baked into SuperiorOS. As for the benchmark scores, these are the benchmark scores which I got on this build. And as I always say, enjoy life. Don't bother too much about benchmark scores. They are never a true reflection of the performance of a custom ROM. And that will do it for this video, peeps. I hope my video helped you. Likes, shares and subscribes are appreciated. Feedback and comment more than welcome. See you when I see you.